Today we're diving into your manifestations, okay? And we're going to talk about your manifestation timeline and how to shorten it so we can collapse time, collapse the gap, and start bringing these things into your life. So manifestation is a little bit different for every single person, but at the core is your identity and your belief system and aligned action. Those are like the three things. If you have an identity, a belief system, and you take action that all aligns with the thing you want, you will collapse time immediately. But it can be hard to identify where we're stuck in the process. Okay. So this is why we're doing a manifestation timeline. And then I'm going to talk about some of the common blocks. So I want you to understand what your timeline is. I want you to pinpoint where your energy is slowing down the process. Learn how to practice manifesting so you can build up that confidence that it's easy, it's fun, it's exciting, and discover how to collapse the time much more quickly. So the first thing we need to do is we need to identify what your pattern is, right? So like, how do you already manifest in your life? Maybe it's easy for you to manifest parking spots. Maybe it's easy for you to manifest text messages. Like you'll think of someone like, oh, I haven't talked to that person in a while. And boom, they text you. Maybe it's opportunities. Like what are the things that manifest in your life very quickly? You think of them, boom, they happen. You say it out loud, boom, it happens. It's like, where does that exist? And if it doesn't exist, that's okay. What feels slow, hard, or impossible to manifest? This is where I want you to really tap in and think about the areas that don't come to you easily. Is it money? Is it love? Is it big moves, big careers? Like, is it the bigger things that maybe are somehow placed on a pedestal, like the love that you want, the connection that you want, the friendships that you want, like the money, whatever it is, okay? I want you to think about what's hard. And I want you to also think like if the first question where there was like maybe you're not manifesting yet or you're not really seeing the results or maybe you're just not paying attention that they're happening, I want you to take like 7 days and just start recording it. What are you thinking about? And then boom, it happens. And it comes so easily, you don't even think twice about it. Because the reason that's happening that way is you have no resistance to it. The reason that money or love or whatever else feels slow or hard is because there's resistance. There's a subconscious resistance. Consciously, you want it, right? But subconsciously, there's something there. And then I want you to look at like how long does it usually take? So if it's like parking spots, are you able to easily manifest it every single time? When you're manifesting like a career change or an opportunity, is it like once every few years you're able to do that? Like how often and how long does it take? And when things don't manifest, what's usually in the way? Are you controlling the process? Are you doubting it? Does it feel hard? Do you not have time? Like what are the things that get in the way if you're aware of them? And now I want you to practice the timeline. So I want you to pick 3 desires, one small, one medium, one large. And I want you to think about, okay, the small thing I want to manifest, for example, I want to see, I want to see an eagle. I believe that could happen really easily. I expect it to show up today. And boom, that's how quickly I expect it to show up. Done. Something medium. I want to manifest a paid vacation. A paid vacation. I want to manifest that by July. Do you see how I instantly put it like 2 months out? Because I'm like, well, that's going to take a little more work than just seeing an eagle. Or so do you see how we can see where these blocks start to already come up? And then I want to manifest something big. I want to manifest a Porsche. How long would that take? Okay, well, I could have one by the end of the year. Like, do you see how the bigger it gets, the further I'm putting it out? Because either I'm not ready for it, either I think there's way more work to do before I could bring something like that in, or it feels hard, or I'm afraid to want it in 3 days because what if it doesn't happen? I don't want to be disappointed. I don't want to be let down. Like, you got to just kind of ask yourself, what's going on here? Why did I put this so far out? Why do I not think someone could show up at the door tomorrow and offer me a free paid vacation, a Porsche, and an eagle? Because it could happen. So I want you to go through and do this exercise so we can start seeing the timelines. And then I want you to start like actually working on manifesting those things. If you wanted to manifest a Porsche, you put it at the end of the year or 5 years or whatever it is for you. What would I have to do right now to believe that I could have a Porsche, that I could manifest a free Porsche? What would I have to believe is possible? Do I have to believe in miracles? Do I have to believe in my ability to create a obscene amount of money overnight? Do I have to believe that my business or my career or my whatever will grow by the end of the year? Like, what do you need to believe, and how can we start looking at closing any resistance there. This is where the fears, the insecurities, the doubts, and being realistic pops up. So I want you to start to look at that. And then I want you to look at what happened at the end of the 7 days. What were you able to manifest in? And I want you to look at, for time collapsing, how do you embody the version of you that has that thing now? Because we don't get the thing we want, we get the thing we are. So as soon as we align to the vibration, we can receive. But until we do that, it's hard to receive those things. So I work with a lot of people who talk about being lonely, and they want love, or they want friendship or community or whatever it is, yet they don't do anything to necessarily go out there and connect with people. So they're not being love. They're wanting love, but they're not being love. They're not opening themselves up to love. They're not experiencing love on a daily basis. Because if you want to bring love in, you can bring love in all areas of your life, not just through people. So you can love nature, you can love animals, you can love experiences. And as you are aligning to this vibration of love, you will bring in the people that will love you, that you will love. So I want you to start look at, where are you wanting versus embodying? And I want you to neutralize the bigness. Take these things off the pedestal. You can have everything you want literally tomorrow. I know that can be annoying to hear if you're not in a good place, but it's true. And I need you to know that, because if you're blocking something or not receiving it, it's because there's a subconscious belief there. And the second we can clear that, we can align you to it. But you have to believe this first. If you always kind of have like, well, that's only for some people, or some people can do it that way, or it hasn't happened before, it hasn't happened in the past, I don't know why it would happen this. Like, if you're carrying that, then honestly skip this exercise and come back when you're in a better mindset. Because if you're carrying that, you're only going to prove that story to be true. So you have to want to change your mindset and believe that not only is this possible, it is meant to be, and it gets to be easy. So we got to take this shit off the pedestal and be worthy and be the thing we want right now. Let go of proving and forcing, right? So don't think about, how do I create this, and then move from this place of like scarcity and urgency. So a lot of times people want to, grow a social media following, or grow a business, or I don't know, something. I'm trying to think of different examples for each of these, but they'll want to do that, and they'll create so much resistance in the process, because they will create all of this content, but they're doing it from this like scarcity forced mindset versus this vibration of alignment. So then they put everything out there and it doesn't go the way they want to, and now they're proving a story about how they're unworthy. So this manifestation is so helpful when you do it correctly, but you have to do it correctly, which is to clear out the subconscious, to align and embody that energy, and then to take the aligned actions. So you don't want to be taking this like, you also don't want to take actions like, oh, I'm going to do this thing because it will bring me XYZ. Because as soon as you attach an outcome to it, if you don't get that outcome, your energy tanks. And then you've now created all these resistant waves in the quantum field that are still pushing your manifestations out further. So you don't want to be like, oh, I'm posting this piece of content and it's going to go viral. I'm posting this piece of content because I am wanting to share and express myself. And it will go to the people who it's meant to go to. Those are the times people go viral. It's not when they're like desperately trying to go viral, because the desperation, the forced energy actually repels the very thing that you want. And then again, it's the identity. Identity is key to all of this. And I think it's like a big part that most people aren't talking about in the manifestation community, is that you have to identify with the version of you that has that thing. If you are always saying like, I will have love once I lose weight and I'm this far along in my career, and I will start the business once I have the money, you're putting everything in the future. You don't identify with any of those things. That has to be a core part of your identity that you can embody now. So go through and do this worksheet, okay? And then I want to talk about some of the blocks that come up. So I've also listed them out on the worksheet, and you can go through and just kind of decode what blocks yours. So some of the obvious ones are like, I'm not good enough, needing to control every detail of how it happens. The scarcity mindset, that's there's never enough, that's not possible for me. Maybe you're inconsistent in your practice, wanting it so badly that you're desperate, right? We just talked about that. The fear of judgment. Some of the sneaky blocks is like, I want it, my mind and my conscious wants this, but my subconscious and my nervous system aren't ready for it. That blocks a lot of people from receiving money and visibility and love, is because your nervous system is like, I can't handle that. So even though you're like, no, I'm ready to be visible, I'm ready to be posting, I'm ready to bring in all this money, I'm ready for love, I'm ready to do all of these things. If your nervous system doesn't also agree with that, nothing you do will bring that in. subconscious guilt for having fun or having more than others or having an easier life than others or having more money than others, feeling like you have to earn your desires, struggle being an actual identity, hidden blocks. There might be like unconscious vows, like I can't be more successful than my family, or if I'm seen, I'll be attacked, or if I receive something good, it'll be taken from me. Or every time I manifest more money, I manifest a big expense. Or maybe your energy is leaking. I've seen a lot of times when people come in for readings, um, their guides will be like, yes, you have this manifestation, this thing you so badly want coming in, but first you've got to like clean house. And it's because they have not great people around them sometimes. And so their guides are like, we're not going to give you this thing right now, because if we did, you'll just give it away to all of these people. Like, this is for you to enjoy, for you to have and to hold. This is also where I see where people can't like have and hold money. So maybe you have energy leaking. Maybe you're avoiding like responsibility because you feel like whatever this thing is that you want requires something you're not willing to give right now. So go through this worksheet, align with whatever responsibilities and blocks and things like that that are coming up. And that's where you want to start to do the work. That's where we go back. We've been doing the identity work the whole time, but what part of the identity is still thinking like, oh, in order to have money, it has to be hard. Or in order to have love, I have to sacrifice. Or like whatever is coming up around this, we have to start to reframe the identity there. So we could do that by doing the identity exercises we did earlier, repeating what we need to, because as we peel back more layers, more junk will come out. And then also doing affirmations. So if you are someone who believes money is hard to come by, or I don't know if I want to be successful because that requires like way more time and energy than I have. No, it doesn't. So I would do affirmations. Money is easy. Money comes to me from all different directions. Money loves to support me. Money is always showing up for me. Money does not require anything from me. Money is easier than I've ever dreamed. Money is easy. Money is easy. Money is easy. I love when money flows into my experience. Money doesn't require anything from me. Money doesn't require me to work. Money doesn't require me to struggle. Money doesn't require more time. Money requires belief. Money requires openness. Money requires worthiness and deservingness. And I feel all of those things. I'm ready to welcome more money. And that's how I would go through these limiting beliefs or these blocks that are coming up for you. So go through and do these worksheets. And I want you to practice your manifestation timelines and see how much shorter and shorter and shorter they get until you are a master manifester.